He's so strong, he killed that in one hit. What about you? Okay. There's some disrespect flying in the chat here. Right. I'm doing my best. We're not a C-rank bracer. You should have just waited for us to arrive instead of going ahead on your own. Oh, I suppose I can commend you for rescuing him at least. You did a bang-up job down there yourself. You got no chill every time we bump into you, but you pulled your weight back in Creel, too. I'm this close to being promoted to B rank, so I would hope I could handle this much. As for your snide little comment, you can mind your own darn business. I'm perfectly chill, thank you. You're just proving his point, you know. As for you, Katra, why didn't you call us to let us know something was off? Everything worked out all right in the end this time, but that could have easily ended worse than it did. Really sorry for worrying you. I thought I could handle it without any help, since I had Theo with me. Cheese and crackers. Well, as long as you're all right, that's all that matters. Real worrying that monsters that big showing up down there, though. That shouldn't be happening. Of course, orbit lights work to keep monsters away. Makes me wonder if them acting up is the cause. Something on your mind, Katra? Well, we saw them doing just that earlier, right? That's not the first time either. It's been happening every so often lately. They've gone out when there was nothing wrong with the lights themselves, or they've done things they shouldn't be able to do technically. I really messed that one up. There have been times when they've been malfunctioning one minute, then totally fine the next. So you went down there because it was bothering you. That's more or less in line with what we've been hearing back at the guild. I don't think we can rule out a connection with what we're here to investigate either. Yeah, I wish you told us that back when we were at Burns HQ. Sorry, I couldn't really mention it in front of the CEO. Thanks for this. This is all great to know, so the guild will keep it in mind too. If anything else happens, could you let us know right away? Can do. Thanks for coming all the way over here. I know you're here due to business with the Vern Company, but you should avoid any suspicious moves while you're at it. Got it, my lord. We'll be sure to follow your lead and be on our best behavior. You can start with axing the snark. Here we go again. We'll see you later, everyone. Did you have to pick a fight with them when they just helped us out? It's fine. We're better off keeping the guild at arm's length while we're here. Well, let me just say again that I really do appreciate you coming to my rescue. But was there something you needed from me when you called me earlier? Oh yeah, almost forgot. There was something we wanted to discuss with you, actually. So you want to go inside the Institute of Science, do you? You're right that only Anya's has the authority to do that. And I wish I could help you all of you get through with her, but I can't upgrade your card. You need to speak to this guy right here. Let me see your card. Received C rank ID certification. Oh, the writing on it changed. You're C rank just like me now, which means you can go inside the Institute. I really owe you one. You sure it's okay to do stuff like this without running it by the CEO first, though? Basel's run by 3 groups, the Vern Company, Institute of Science, and Artisans Guild. I'm the head of the 3rd one, so I don't need anyone's approval but my own for stuff like this. Besides, you saved the professor's favorite young'un. I wouldn't be fit to call myself an artisan of Basel if I didn't find some way to thank you. Supervisor. Can't argue with that. Thanks a lot. Just out of curiosity, is C as far as you can upgrade our card? You got guts on you, kid. You call yourself a Spriggan, right? Can't say I'd peg you as the squeaky clean type, but I've got a feeling you can do some good work there where the guild can't. I can bump your card's rank up to B if I feel like you've earned it, so keep up the good work. Thought he'd be more of a stubborn old mule, but he's more lax than I gave him credit for. Well, I think it's more he trusts us a little. Well, his trust in you makes me feel better about helping you too. That card's all you need to get into the Institute, but how about I show you the way there? Think of it as my way of saying thank you for saving me. Oh, so you want to chaperone and spy on us as an excuse for, helping or something? Like, that ain't gonna work on me, Doug. Are you leaving, Katra? I am, but you're coming with. Thanks for the help earlier, Zeros. Could you take care of things here while I'm gone? The names are Fio and Zeros. They're amazing. Yeah, they're like loyal animal friends straight out of a fairy tale. The black one looks rad, in my opinion. I'm glad you can appreciate their brilliance. They are autonomous orbital drones based on hollow AIs, if I recall. I've heard about the technology involved to create them. I didn't expect to see both a floating support type and a ground-based offensive type while in the field, however. You're very well informed. My apologies for not introducing myself sooner. I am Rosette Twinings, and I'm a concierge for Marduk Total Security Company, currently supporting Arkwright Solutions in their endeavors. Oh, that explains how you know so much. But hold on, didn't you say this request was from... Marduk's sponsors were covertly at odds with the Principality. But how did you end up establishing such a bizarre group like this? I ask myself the same thing every day. Might as well resign yourself to your fate. It was clearly Arusha's guidance that brought us together. That and Mr. Arkwright's personal magnetism. How am I getting bundled with the goddess here? Guess I'll just have to let it go for now. Anyway, the Aerotram boarding platform is this way. You'll be able to use it now that your card's been upgraded. Oh, you are in my party. And you're basically dead. You should probably fix that. Let's see what you all about. You have Explode. Okay.
Switching to maintenance mode.
You have 496 in art power.
Switching to maintenance mode.
Okay, I can possibly get you
Switching
there.
to maintenance mode.
First, I need to cut that up. EP usage 70%. Interesting. I would say that's useful. Yeah, I would say that's useful. I guess. This would swap out Aaron. This would mean that Rosette would go to the front lines. I really like that. I think it's like that. I need Aaron because he's my evasion tank. I don't necessarily need Rosette. Is he good? So far, he seems pretty okay. I need someone in the back line to do backline things, and he does seem like someone who can do that. Rosette was filling that role, but I think he can probably do that now. Let's see what he can do. I did get a new... Yes. Draws hate during command battles. Command battles. Oh, I don't want to... that. Looks like Guardian only goes up to 2. You like a support and healer? Thought Anya's was enough? Well, I want, the way that I'm setting it up is I want Aaron as my frontliner to evade physical attacks, and Van to kind of be his SCLM partner, and Van is going to be S-crafting and all that other good stuff. Then I have Anya's in the back, and I need Anya's to have an SCLM partner, so I need someone who can cast spells back there with her, basically. And this guy also seems to have a ranged attack, so it just seems like it fits the composition, so I think he will work. But him also having the capabilities to do like heals and stuff like that should be helpful, even though he doesn't have any. But he does have a craft. 15-year-old researcher at the Basel Institute of Science Master Course. He was taken in by Professor Hamilton, the mother of the Orbital Revolution, and raised as her grandchild. He only has 2 crafts. I guess that's the downside to him. He only has 2 crafts. Oh, that's a CP boost? Oh, okay. But we'll give him a shot. Oh, I can shop here now.
No need to be shy now.
Ah, this is where I can do it. To make a little bit of money. Wow, that actually doesn't make a lot of money. That's incredibly disappointing, actually. These should totally be worth way more. But, oh, life is hard,
See you
I guess.
again. No need to be shy now.
Um, have melt. I would want to put a fire one on you. Fire and earth if possible. I want fire and problem is your earth elements are up there. Remove freeze, I guess. Cast 2 there. Maybe that, I guess. Do something better than this? Doesn't look like it. Oh, we could go for something like that. Could equip this. That HP 3. Wait. How can you equip that there? It says drive extra line only. This is the extra line. Is this the drive line? How do I... Oh, this is... Oh! Oh! This changes things. Go back to Anya's. Means I can get rid of Field 2, but HP 2 here, but Aquaverse there. Hey. I guess this gives 4, this gives 3. We do miss out on Aqua Boost 2. We definitely do need. So I move the Cosmic. Looks like we don't need Cosmic for anything there. And this is just water. Water gives you HP regen. EP cuts. There we go. There we go. Making progress. Get rid of that. I don't think that gives us anything. Does not. Did I mark? I did not mark.
See you again. No need to be shy now. See you again.
Find some fade to black. 25 minutes ago to handle that.
Off we go.
Okay, fine with me.
Okay.
Off we go.
Got it.
Hey, Catra. Mind lending me a hand sometime today?
Sure, I'll drop by again later. Now, what's it say?
Why is there a side quest up here? Let's investigate what it is. And by investigate, I mean totally skip everything. RC cars, huh?
Time to start working.
Oh man. Oh man. We're gonna drive slowly around it. And then we're gonna step on it. And then we're gonna aim for the apex.
Well done, everyone. Reward deposited.
Looks like I failed. That's fine. We didn't have to read any text. That sounds like a win to me. To science of instituting. I think these aero trams are pretty silly. Well, you guys can just build an elevator or stairs.
Wow, we're so high up.
This is kinda nice.
It's the kind of thing you'd only find here. Professor Hamilton designed this, right?
Oh, I'm impressed you knew.
Is something wrong?
Not at all. It's just that while I've heard about everything here, seeing the whole world with your own eyes for the first time is without doubt an unparalleled experience.
Hmm? I know what you mean. I feel the same way after diving into the world of a good book for the first time.
seeing everything with my own eyes. It's a brand new experience. Yeah, when I read a book, I imagine that experience, and I feel the same way. What? Hello? Here we are. The Basel Institute of Science, the place where most or much of the Republic's most cutting-edge research gets done. It's situated in a beautiful location, too. The views of the canyon from here are just stunning. Yeah, this area is supposed to be popular with tourists for exactly that reason, though even they need a card right now. This isn't that bad of a spot to sightsee, I guess, but there's no real place to live it up in town. Well, speaking of tourism, what's that rounded building over there? I've been wondering this whole time. That's the Astronomy Observatory. That's a place where you look at the stars, right? That's right. There's a powerful telescope there that lets you see far more of them than you could with the naked eye. There are many who believe that astronomy is the discipline from which all others draw their roots, even if others disagree. Actually originated in the Central East, if you didn't know. Oh, really? Pretty sure they were big on stargazing in that fallen empire to the east back in the day, too. This is turning out to be very educational. So, where would you like to start? I'd be happy to show you around if you want. No, it's fine. We're just going to wander around for a while and see what we find. You can tell us where the main facilities and research labs are, that'd be plenty. Well, if you're sure, they're marked on the building's map already, but here you go. Well, then I've got work of my own to take care of, so I'll be going for now. If anything comes up, you're always welcome to contact me on my Zypha. Thanks. Hoping we could stay with him longer. He knows so many cool things. I feel the same way, but it would be difficult. Yeah, he's just going to get in the way when we start poking our noses around in dark places. I doubt we're going to get any new 4 SPGs here, but here's hoping we can learn more about this abusive professor wherever they are. Let's get to work. Remember to act casual, not make it obvious that, what we're here for. Understood. Act casual. Yeah, I feel like our setup here is not correct. I think that's probably correct. Wait, are there actually stairs? Oh. So the Aerotram is not even necessary. People can just walk here. Aerotram is dang slow too, like, I don't know about all that. I know the walking, there's a lot of stairs, but the Aerotram is super slow.
This campus is just as big as I expected.
Let's take a look around. Gotta check out all the spots that kid mentioned.
There's a door here. Is there a door there on the outside of the building? Is there like room for stuff there? Yeah, I guess there is. You got me. We are talking to you. Now, we're topicing.
Can we talk?
Professor abusing their authority, you say? That's a bit of a stretch to me, not gonna lie. I can say for certain that Professor Cronkite and Professor Tane would never do that. It can't be them. Oh, what makes you so sure of that? Well, so Professor Cronkite's a man of few words, so he can come across as kind of scary. But he means well, really. I mean, he's one of the greatest minds of our time. He lives and breathes science. I feel like Cronkite probably something fishy about him, and he's like stealing his information or something. And Professor Tane is just really friendly to everybody. He's always looking out for people. He's known the world over for his work in civil engineering and urban planning. Basel Institute of Science certainly earns its reputation. Its faculty are all accomplished scientists and engineers in their own right. Yep, lots of famous people come to study and lecture here. Professor Callahan's a real celebrity too. He's a real whiz when it comes to mechanical engineering. He's the brain behind the military's new weapons. Last I heard, though, his new big proposal got shot down in favor of someone else's. He didn't really take it that well, but he's bounced back from what I can tell. He's really putting his all into his new project. Really humbled to get to work with so many hardworking and talented people. Hardworking and talented people can still be sucker-foos. Are they good people, is what we're asking. Could you maybe have phrased that a little less aggressively? Well, thanks for the time to talk to us. You were a big help. Welcome.
Everybody's gotta eat. What'll it be for today?
Oh, that's what I gotta do.
Thanks a bunch.
Gotta go buy suckers. Gotta buy equipment. Oh, I definitely do not want to talk to you.
What'll it be for today?
I'm gonna buy this stuff.
Thanks a bunch.
Whoops.
Authentication error.
Breeze here feels so nice.
Hello, librarian.
Let me ask you something.
A power tripping professor, you say? Well, if it were anybody, I'd put my money on Cronkite. He's awfully quick to dismiss people, haughty, in a word. Kind and helpful aren't exactly synonymous with him, at least, from what I've seen and heard. I see. Have you heard anything about any of the other professors that might relate to these allegations? Let me think now. Well, I can't see Professor Orelli doing anything like that. She's just a bundle of sunshine, not a mean bone in her body. Sometimes I even see her in here picking up research materials for her students. Then there's Professor Callahan. He always made a point of helping out his students. Certainly not a bad person in my view, but he's gotten a bit of a bad rap after his work went south. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. We greatly appreciate it. Oh man, you don't get a name, you're just security guard? The disrespect.
Indeed.
Can we talk?
Workplace harassment. Harassment? Goodness. I've heard these bits and pieces, but I'm just a bit nervous to talk about it. I won't tell anyone, don't worry, anything helps. Heard loud shouting from one of the other labs, yes. It stunned me out of the work I was doing. I heard stuff like, "You idiots, can't you do anything right? And you're a disgrace to the Institute, get out." He's just lashing out at everybody and everyone now, it's really disturbing. Which professor was the one doing that? I just can't say it, sorry. If they find out it was me, I'd have to pay. It's really gnawing at me. The abuse is only getting worse and worse from what I'm told. I've heard the works, fatigue, depression, exhaustion, even a couple researchers fainting on the job. Whole department looks visibly shaken these days. The stress is just too much for them. I worry they'll all end up like Cindy. Cindy, what happened to her? She's at her breaking point from what I hear. I hardly see her at the Institute anymore. We've all been trying to support her however we can, but it's rough. It really is. Dang, yeah, that's not good. Who's the professor helping her out of curiosity? That would be Professor Esmeralda. She's in the bioengineering department. She's known the world over for her cutting-edge research, a real upstanding woman. She's always up to her neck in her own work, though. Probably doesn't know the extent of the abuse at the other labs. Yeah, thanks for filling us in. This still helps us a lot. Alright, I think we've combed this area over pretty well now. Let's go sit down somewhere and try piecing things together. I recommend that open space in the front of the Institute grounds. Saw some benches there that we could use. Sounds like a plan to me. Fast travel. Sucker foo. Let's sit down. Well, that was pretty good. We got our hands on some nice info there. We learned a lot of professors' names, too. There's Professor Callahan, the Engineering Science Authority, and Professor Arelli in the Chemistry Department. Professor Cronkite, a well-respected expert in physics and orbital engineering, and Professor Tane, an architectural researcher. And there's one Professor Esmeralda over in bio. They all sounded really capable, but of course, the stat sheets don't tell the whole story. They all sounded like oddballs in their own right. I think we can pretty safely narrow down the perp down to one of those 5. I agree, we have pretty strong evidence to suggest that. Alright, let's take our evidence from the top then. All the people we talked to, all the testimonies, they all had this one thing in common. Oh, I see what you mean. They didn't name the abuser. Not a single one named the culprit. Some of those guys knew who it was, but it kept sounding like they were too scared to name him. Would have made our job a heck of a lot easier if they just named the guy, but nope. Yeah, now that you mention it, that is kind of weird. I can understand not wanting to be labeled a snitch, but it felt like there was more to it than that. They were afraid of the culprit, but you could tell they respected them too. They didn't want to sully this professor's good name. Some people said the guy wasn't always like that. Something changed them. Probably the conflict over the proposal we heard about. Something about hard feelings. One guy said they had to crunch after the proposal fell through. Telltale sign of abuse to me. That does seem likely, though we can't say for certain what changed the professor's behavior. That would be a reasonable explanation. That said, no circumstances justify an abuse of power and status. This professor is truly incorrigible. So that's who you think the culprit is. Yeah, if you ask me, there's only one professor that fits the bill. Callahan, I believe is the name. Professor Callahan's our guy. He's one of the foremost authorities on engineering science, perhaps the smartest man in the whole field. I've seen him in the papers plenty of times before. He's always described as a savant. Notably, he helped modernize the military's weapons and equipment. But he's got revenge on the mind, sounds like. Some other professors one-upped him, and that's got him pissed. I get it sucks, but you think a world-renowned scientist would be less childish about it. You'd know a thing or two about acting like a child, wouldn't you? I don't know, you usually call me Grandpa. Which is it, bud? Is now the time. So, what do we do? What do we do now? We have all the recordings of the people we talked to. That all points to Professor Callahan being the suspect. So what's our next move? Do we hunt down our client next and give them the tapes? No, I'm thinking we get Professor Callahan's opinion on it without accusing him directly. We nudge him in the right direction and he might just turn himself in. What do you mean? Simple. We tell him about the abuse rumors going around. We talk about all these exhausted students and he connects the dots on his own. Failing that, well, we already know it's him. Don't actually know it's him. We just have a lot of circumstantial evidence that points to him, but doesn't necessarily have to be him. Bound to figure out his reputation's on the line. The more he hears about this. If he's smart, he'll fess up. Well, I mean, if he was smart, he wouldn't be doing this, so what's your point? So that's what we do. We give him a subtle little nudge, and he does all the work El Saim wanted for us. 2 birds with 1 stone right there. Sounds really scheming. I'm not sure we're the good guys all of a sudden. Well, it is a quintessentially Spriggan-like way of solving our problem. Fine by me. To the Power Trippers lab, then. Actually, where is it? I don't remember seeing it while we were taking our tour. I suspect it's in the Special Research Building. We need some form of clearance to enter, of course. We passed a door with a guard in front earlier. They won't let any ordinary civilian inside. I suspect we need an A-rank card at the very least. It's hard enough for us to get a C-rank card. I think getting an A rank is off the table. What should we do then? Maybe wait for him to leave the building and ambush him. Old Van's the man with the plan. All that matters is that we get inside the building. Doesn't matter how we do it. And being a Spriggan, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Man, you're kind of scaring me with that smile there. We defer to you. What's your strategy, Master Spriggan? But first, we just roll up to the building like anybody else would. Once we get there, we convince the guard to let us in. Just act naturally, and we're golden. Still can't fast travel. Maybe I can take the tram, though.
Well...
Sockles. And I guess that is not an option for me. I have a feeling this is going to be a dungeon, too.
Not this way.
Probably monsters inside. Oh, I need to... Did I already... Did not. Excuse me, is this where we can find Professor Callahan? We're here to speak with him. Right, yes, may I see your card, sir? Of course. I have a certification card. C rank, I'm sorry, but I can't let you in without the proper security clearance. If you don't mind me asking, what business do you have with him to begin with? Glad you asked. We're here on behalf of the Principality of El Saim. We figured there was an appointment for us, but we just found out they didn't set anything up. Sorry for the inconvenience. Wanted to inquire about Professor Callahan's new research. It's caught our investors' interest. His findings have seismic implications. Even the Zypha revolution would be small potatoes compared to this. So we looked into meeting with him and collaborating on his research, only to learn that Marduk was interested in the same thing. So now we've got ourselves a 3-way partnership here. I am here on the Marduk Company's behalf. I'm a concierge in their employ. So you're meeting with him to discuss a grant, is that right? A bit surprised to hear that both El Saim and Marduk are collaborating on this, but, well, stranger things have happened, I guess. I apologize for the inconvenience. That said, who are these children with you? Surely they're not employees. Pardon? I'm not a kid, I'm just short. They're associates of El Saim VIP. Pardon them. They're here on El Saim's behalf as well, so they were looking to sit in on our meeting. It was a little awkward though. We came all the way from El Saim just to get turned away at the door on a technicality. Not sure what to tell them when we get back home. Really sorry. There's clearly been some kind of mix-up here. Your arrangement might have been lost in the shuffle with all the Aramis students visiting. You must have been issued the same rank card by them by mistake. I'll go clear this up with Professor Callahan. 1 minute, please. Of course, we'll be waiting. You sure you're okay with him calling your bluff? Of course. Who's he to turn down grant money? And that ain't what we're really here for, but he just has to take the bait. Thank you for your patience. Professor would like to meet with you at once. Go right in. Thank you very much. Can't believe you managed to deceive your way past someone again. Hey, nothing I said was a lie. Not my fault if someone else takes what I said the wrong way. Bet you tell yourself that every single time, huh? Yeah, you must be a real pro at this. I mean, it's not something to be proud of, as your sudden embarrassment suggests. I wish you would at least stop to think about the bad influence you might be having on Fairy.
So you're trying to blame all of this on me, are you?
Not at all. I'm in no way trying to suggest your latest research is the cause. If anything, the approach you're taking with your latest project rather fascinates me.
Does it now?
That being said, work on my own project has reached a critical juncture. I cannot afford any issues with net traffic at this time.
That certainly sounds like blame to me, Cronkite. You may be one of Professor Hamilton's students, but that doesn't give you the right to...
So sorry for the delay. Oh. Who the devil are you? This is a restricted area, you know? Not to worry, we have permission to be here. Could either of you direct us to Professor David Callahan's office? Oh, so you're the ones I just heard about. We're finished here, Cronkite. Now, if you would all follow me. Yang, Professor Cronkite and Callahan. Funny running into you guys here. Whoops. Could say the same thing. Mr. Arkwright, you have business here. Catra, what are you doing here, Silesian? And who are these people with you? They're students here on an educational visitation from the capital. I've been assisting them during their stay. Professor Cronkite was gracious enough to extend us an invitation to visit him when we happened to see each other in town. So we asked Mr. Silesian if he could lead the way. Do not believe I invited anyone but you, nor did I imply we should meet quite this soon. But I suppose chasing you away here would be more work than just humoring you. Very well, follow me. Really? It would be nothing short of incredible to see your work up close, Professor Cronkite. Well, we'll get out of your hair now. We apologize for the interruption. I can see that you're very busy, but it would be a pleasure to speak more on another occasion, Professor Callahan. Oh, I suppose that can be arranged. Must be nice to have enough free time to spend on such frivolous nonsense as educational visitations. Well, come with me. I want to make this brief. Of course, Professor.
Wait! I'd like to listen in on this conversation too, if you don't mind.
I do mind.
As their guide, I suspect it has everything to do with me.
Take a 10-minute break. Do not return late.
Yes, Professor. Excuse us. David.
As you know, my name is David Callahan. I believe you're here to talk about Elsyme and Marduk investing in my research. That makes for a very interesting combination, if you don't mind me saying. What exactly led to this?
Is that what you're told? There seems to have been a misunderstanding then. We are currently working for Elsyme, and we do have a Marduk employee with us, but that's all. What? We're currently in the middle of an investigation, you see, and a lead happened to bring us here. Wanted to follow up on a rumor that some extreme abuse of power has been taking place in a laboratory here. That's the face of a guy who's got something to tell. Who asked you to investigate this? Couldn't tell you, didn't leave their name, but they did tell us all about what's been happening. I've heard all about the ridiculous workloads and insane hours they and their colleagues have been forced to endure. About how they're never allowed any rest, are woefully underpaid, and how they receive vicious, constant verbal abuse from their superior. Even to the point that someone collapsed from overwork and has been driven to the brink of suicide. That's just. We have all the testimony and evidence we need to act if that's what it comes to. But we thought it better to come and hear your thoughts first. Excuse me? It's not too late to turn things around. So many people we spoke to were quick to say that you weren't always like this. They mentioned how they almost had trouble believing just what you'd become. We could see how afraid people are of you now, and how they dislike what you've become. But at the same time, we could see how deeply they respect you too. We're not heroes of justice like the cops or the guild. We're just about finding common ground and putting things to right. Long as you're willing to work with us, we can. That is enough. Don't talk to me about respect and then immediately resort to blackmail. Cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me. How could you say that? You know we've got evidence that you're what you're doing, right? Sure you want to pick this fight? Do what you will with your evidence. All I have to do is cover it up. No one's going to believe some lowly assistance over an esteemed professor. Professor? I am two mere steps away from completing my research, and they pick now to sabotage my efforts. Very well, then darn the human cost. I'll start working them to the bone to make up for their...
Just listen to yourself, Professor! What has gotten into you? You used to be so kind and supportive. Professor Hamilton held you in such high regard. Even though I was one of her students, you would still take the time to look after me. I just can't understand why all you do lately is spit in the face of her achievements.
Catra. Suspected as much.
Sorry. That's a private matter between us. But please, at least stop and think about how you're treating the people who work under you. They took their positions because they dreamed of being like you. Don't belittle them or their work.
Salesian. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, you third-rate apprentice!
Get absolutely destroyed. Catra. What do you think you're doing? Listen, sucker.
You're talking to the famous David Callahan, the preeminent scholar of engineering science and military technology, who has long upheld the very foundation of this nation's national defense. I've had enough of youngsters like Cronkite and Esmeralda acting like they're above me after all I've achieved. My latest research will propel Calvert to even greater heights, change the power balance of the entire continent. Why can no one understand just how much of a privilege it is to help with that?
Professor.
Well, you're free to have whatever lofty goals you want. But I think we've had our 10 minutes, don't you? Oh. Came here to explain the situation and offer a solution we thought would benefit everyone. You're welcome to try and cover up the evidence and testimonies we've gathered, but I promise you, it ain't gonna be easy. If you're as close to this revolution as you claim to be, then I'd give it another thinking through if I were you. I'm done wasting time with you. I'll be raising the issue of your illegal trespassing and appalling brazenness with Mr. Towsend. I admit that I may have been a little too harsh, but as long as you intend to cling to Professor Hamilton instead of aiming for something more, I have no interest in you. Unless you now see the benefits of developing your talents under me after all. I would wager that would be far better use of your time than waiting like a little girl for an old woman who's long gone. Excuse me. Cantra, pardon us.